All right, so section 17, electrochemistry. First thing we need to talk about, what is electrochemistry? Well, if you wouldn't believe it, it's going to be chemistry that involves electricity. Well, that doesn't really help me that much. Well, electricity is just going to be the movement of electrons. And the movement of electrons, what is really going on in a chemical reaction that involves electricity, which is the movement of electrons, or in other words, chemistry that involves the movement of electrons. This is really, All right, so we need to talk about electrochemistry. And the first question is, what is electrochemistry? So electrochemistry is just going to be chemistry that involves electricity. And while that's not very helpful, electricity, when we use that general term, what's really going to be going on is electrons are going to be moving. That's what generates electricity. Except it's not really just the movement of electrons that we're going to be looking at in electrochemistry. It's going to be the transfer of electrons from one element to another. And we call these reactions where electrons are transferred redox reactions. So what is electrochemistry? What are electrochemical reactions? They are redox reactions, where redox reactions are just a reaction where one reactant gains electrons while the other reactant loses electrons. So basically, these reactions are just going to be reactions where some chemical species gives electrons to another chemical species. So basically what's going to be going on is you're going to be having a chemical reaction where one species is going to be transferring electrons to another chemical species, and that transfer of electrons is going to generate electricity. So that's what an electrochemical reaction is. It just takes all of this information and it's going to put it all together and it's going to say that is electrochemistry. Now, we said we were talking about the transfer of electrons, and I'm assuming a little bit that you know how to identify the transfer of electrons. It's going to be a change in the oxidation state of an element. An element's oxidation state tells me how many electrons it's gained or lost, so I can use the oxidation state to tell me, hey, before this reaction happened, it had this many electrons, and then after this reaction, it had this many electrons. Did it gain electrons? Did it lose electrons? What happened? So to be able to identify redox reactions and the transfer of electrons, you need to be able to identify oxidation states.